Like many people, I really didn't understand what the so called divine plan was when I first awakened. I've seen where other people talk about divine plan and the way they discuss it, and also from my own upbringing, I thought it was God's plan or a certain path that I'm supposed to follow in order to be my best self. And throughout my life, even well before my spiritual awakening, I've questioned if everything happens for a reason. And there have been times that I've questioned if I have free will. And since I've been more closely walking my path with my higher self, these questions have actually been answered. We do have free will and a divine plan, but I don't believe it's a pre plan all laid out before we come into our physical existence, as many discuss it being. When I first heard divine plan, I thought it meant there's a preset plan in place for my life as my best life. And whatever I do outside of that is not my best life. That was my initial thinking concerning that. However, as I began developing my relationship with my higher self, I was shown that we have free will. And as we align with our higher self, our free will actually aligns with our divine plan, which is part of my unique spiritual design as an individualized soul. Meaning, there are certain things I'm designed to experience, but I don't believe it's specific, but more based on my soul's purpose, such as teaching, healing, loving, creating, expressing, and exploring. There is no preset plan. We're open to living, experiencing, expressing through creativity. And that's why there's freedom in unconditional love. I believe God is infinite creative potential, or what can be referred to as source energy. In that potential, everything already exists. And I use the word everything because that's the only way I know how to describe it in human terms, but everything is not even an accurate way to describe it because it puts brackets on a belief that you can't put brackets on. It's infinite. And it's not something our mind can truly grasp. But that potential is only part of infinite creation. The polarity to that is manifestation. There are different dimensions of physicality, and in these physicalities are the other side of that potential. As we experience, we manifest infinite potential as the other part of creation. It's why the soul comes to experience because creation comes from love. And through unconditional love, we can create infinitely. So, as I'm living my life, I'm experiencing and expressing. I'm creating this unique reality through my unique perceptions. My experience in this very moment is unlike any that has ever been in existence or ever will be. I'm part of this infinite creation. And the role of my higher self is to show me my best path through being balanced with my soul. So as I'm creating, my higher self isn't standing there showing me what has been pre planned for me and how to get to it, but rather as I'm creating through every decision, every action, every moment of my existence, my higher self is experiencing this with me and has a plan or path for me to be in balance in that every moment of my existence. Such as if I'm being rude to someone in that moment, my higher self is part of that creation that I'm creating and has a way for me to find balance. So, in that moment that I'm being rude to someone, I have a certain feeling within me. It's dissonance with my higher self because I'm not balanced in that moment. But by feeling my way through my higher self, feeling what feels good, such as apologizing, for example, helps me get to my balance. And if I can't feel good by apologizing, because sometimes it may not feel good to do what we're often told is the right thing to do. Maybe they did something rude first and I felt they deserved my rudeness. But even still, I can recognize my imbalance and either let it not affect my vibration, or if it does, still choose to be in higher vibration, like recognize it and get back into it. And it's through that vibration that I feel the resonance with my higher self. So it's not that we have some plan in place before we incarnate. Our soul gave us our higher self, which is unique to this physical experience. And as I create through my experience, so also does my higher self create based off of my experience, my creation. And that's how we create our own divine plan through our physical existence and our unique spiritual design. And remember that unique spiritual design is my soul purpose.